I have a new camera, and wow, it's something special. So, I have a new camera, the Fujifilm X100VI. I had my eyes on the previous version of this, the 5, but never bought it. So when I heard that the new version of this should be released, I was really excited. For a really long time, I've been trying to find something smaller and more compact that still have the quality that I'm after. And this camera is really something. I use it almost every day, and I always have it with me in my pocket. With its spec of 14.2 megapixels, it's have the capability of a really pro-level camera. I think the sensor is really good. The autofocusing is good too. For a long time I hesitated to bring my camera with me because I needed to carry my big bag and my lenses. The camera I use since 2018 is the Canon 1DX Mark II. It's a pretty big camera, and that's not optimal for a daily carry as this is. I worked on this film for a little bit over a month, so now we will take a step back in time to mid-April when we started out to make this video. Let's go. The weather is not that great today. It's late April now, and the snow is here. That's fun. Hopefully it will be warmer soon. So I did a whole campaign with this camera as a photography camera. I didn't use it for video in that one because it was fast-paced moving kids and they run it. So the rolling shutter wouldn't keep up with that. All the pictures for that campaign was taken with this camera, and it worked out fine. Was no problem. I read a lot about the X100VI, and I was really close to buy it. I don't like to buy used cameras, so I waited a little bit. And 2 weeks later they announced that this camera should be released. So I was really lucky to not buy the X100VI version, because then I shouldn't have this one. I think, even though it's a photography camera first, I really like the video capabilities of it. The 6K it's nice to have, but it's like need to have, want to have, or nice to have. And the 6K is just nice to have. It's nothing that I need to, so I rarely use the 6K. It's if I know I have to crop into the picture afterwards. When you record in 6K, it's also cropping the sensor a bit, so it's not that wide as 4K. So it's 6K is nice, but the 4K is the one I use when I shoot my reels and record stuff with it. And the rolling shutter is even better. I shot a couple of different stuff with it. I used it for commercial shoots. I used it for family pictures instead of my phone. I used it for work as a secondary camera. I use it to record videos and my reels. I shouldn't recommend to use it for faster paced videos because the rolling shutter is really bad. especially in 6K and 4K fine, but in regular 4K it's decent. 4000 in shutter speed is probably good enough for this one. There is a built-in ND filter, so even if it's too bright for 4000, you can take the 4-stop ND filter and it probably will be fine. The flip screen is it's like streamlined flat, nothing that sticks out. It's just a tilt screen, so you can't do selfie mode. I know that a lot of people use this for taking pictures with JPEG and they don't edit them. I try that too, but I'm not that great of a photographer to just upload pictures straight from camera. I can't really do that, so I need to edit them a little bit to get to my style of photography. All those recipes that's included is cool, and I will try to do more of the custom ones this summer and see what's it all about with those. It's cool. I like it. So let's talk about the build quality and the design of this camera. It looked like earlier versions of this camera. They haven't done anything crazy about it. It has the analog style of buttons, and it's quite robust. I haven't dropped it, but it feels like it can take a hit. It's a little bit weird that it feels good and robust, but the thing that protects the USB port and the HDMI, it's really flimsy and plasticky. That's the only part of the camera I don't think is quality, to be honest. The lens, it's fixed, so you can't change it. That's why I don't think this is a good beginner camera, because you can't expand on it. You're really fixed with 35 millimeters, and even though it's a really good focal length, I wouldn't recommend it as a beginner camera. It comes in 2 different colors, the silver that I have. I don't know if I regret taking the silver one, but I think the black looks really good too. But this silver is more retro looking. It got a lot of cool features, like the ND filter. There's not many cameras that has an ND filter built in. I use that right now because I don't use a variable ND filter on the front. I'll probably get some kind of ND filter for this, because I felt like this 4-stop wasn't enough today. And it's just early May, so it's spring. It's not even that bright. So if I'm going to record more this summer, I need to have a better filter to get better exposure. It's a nice day. It's almost lunch. So I think I will end this here. I will take a couple of sample photos and post, so I can post more and show you the quality of the video and the images. Yeah, let's go. I started with this video mid-April, and because I wanted to get more familiar with this camera, because it's the first of this kind of camera I used. I wanted to be more familiar with the technical bits and pieces in this type of camera, but most of all to get to know it and see what's good and not good, and how I can use it for my kind of photography and video production. It's a journey, as you have to dive deep and understand what's inside so you can get the full potential for the creative work. If you struggle with knowledge about the camera, you can't maximize your own creativity. That's simple. But in the last 2 weeks, I experimented a lot more with the simulations and the recipes, and I will say that I really like that. The different kind of color science that's in those simulations and recipes makes it easier to translate my mood for that day and my feelings of that shoot. It suits my creativity and the way I shoot. As a summary of this camera, I would say it's an excellent camera for the right person. If you buy this camera, you need to know that it's not for everyone. If you're not sure if you want this camera, do your research. Try to borrow it from someone or even the models before it. The way to take photos with this one is, it's not how I used to do. I use it in a different way when I take photos. For my needs, it was perfect. I really needed a smaller camera to bring instead of my phone, because I don't like to take photos with my phone. So this one is perfect for that. The daily carry is it's a really good camera if you want to challenge yourself as a photographer and try something new. But as I said, it's not for everyone. There is basically not a perfect camera, so if you're looking for that, good luck, and if you find it, let me know. I hope you liked this video and that it made you a bit wiser if you're thinking of buying a Fujifilm X100VI. Like and subscribe, and as always, I see you in the next video.